I'm not going to make this a positivity video because I just don't do that. But what I will say is, based on my interaction with a lot of kidney transplant centers, they're not going to give you a kidney for free. They're just not going to do that, right? And I'm not stupid enough to not understand that I know that a kidney has to match me, right? A kidney has to match everybody. And there are things that you can't control with this, and there are things that are out of your control. And that's one of the things that are out of your control. But the things that you can control are making sure that your labs are up to date. I know that I get on here and I express myself, and some might think it's me complaining, but the reality is that is something that you can control. You have to make sure that your labs are up to date. You know, that's one thing that you can do. People will say that, oh, well, you're just a complainer. Well, you're always talking about all these problems, but what is the solution? Make sure, I'll say this again, make sure that your labs are up to date. Call them and ask them what you need to do in order to make sure that you can go through the test that you need to go through to make sure that your labs are up to date. Because if you're, let's say, for example, you're 5th on the list and 1 through 4 can't pass because their labs aren't up to date, then that means that there's a potential that you could be up next. So it's so crucially important that you speak to your social worker at your dialysis center. Make them give you what you need and tell you what you need to know to make sure that all your labs are up to date. Call the transplant center, talk to your coordinator, even if they don't want to talk to you. Even if they don't want to talk to you, screw that. Call them up and then tell them to tell you what you need to do to make sure that your labs are up to date. So that way you are ready if the perfect kidney comes along for you, or the perfect organ. Because they won't even entertain the idea of even giving you a kidney if you're not ready. But they won't even entertain the idea of it. And that will just be a missed opportunity on your part. So it's so crucially important that you do your due diligence as a patient, as somebody that has a desire, that wants this, to make sure those labs are right. Make sure that you got to go to whoever you got to go to, speak to whoever you have to speak to, do whatever procedure that you need to get done to make sure that when it's time to go, you can just go. You don't have to worry about it. Because if things aren't correct, labs aren't right, you have unresolved health issues from other things unrelated, they will take you off the table. They'll take you off the table. They'll take your name right out of the running, and then you'll get nothing.